from what I've witnessed so far, and this is not a gloating, like, oh God, you're going to get what you deserve. It's not like that for me. People that actually took me in, even if they had some sideways ass shit attached to it, it helped me. It helped me to have the ability to have this conversation. It helped me to have the courage to understand that having these types of conversations are viable and possible. And so when you're looking through God's lens, you see things for what they are in front of you, but you also get a perspective that may assist you in that situation. And what I am starting to realize, I just call it clickbait. I don't really fucking know what it is, but the technological walkabout stuff helped me understand sometimes hurrying up is about somebody else's agenda that might not be what you are faced with putting together in this world, or in any world really, or for yourself. And so what questions I have is, because I've witnessed, like some of these people who have been helping on behalf of amenities, like in an opportunistic way, due to some of the patterned rhythms, or like due to some of the algorithm types of realities and scenarios, or that some of these people are rigged with, because let's face it, the common man is expressing more and more every day, we are fucking tired of this. We're not doing this with you anymore. And I don't blame them. And I don't blame those who have assumed power and did the best that they could either. So questions moving forward are, how is it possible to help and serve communities that have basic needs? If your community is in need, if you're not feeding, clothing, sheltering your communities and if you're capitalizing off their stories and their information, that's bad. Sometimes we just have to go back to understanding right and wrong, good and bad. Like, those dichotomies exist for a reason. That's right. So, especially since our younger demographics have full on, without a filter, expressed that reflection to us. And I laugh because they always do it in ways that are like, you're just like, oh my God, you little fucker, but like, they're so cute at the same time. So, what like their expression is that they are assuming that is okay, and I feel like the people who have incurred their decision making in their adult like worlds, realities, plans, is karmic. It is. It's karmic. And I was like wondering, why the fuck am I not able to hear these fuckers like everybody else is? Well, I didn't participate in that shit. And I did my best with wherever I was to offer what I had. And when it started to become an issue when I was, like, didn't know what to do when people were taking more from me than what I could recover or gain for me. And at first I assumed it was because I was, like, impaired in the ability of self-care. And that's not true. And I've proved that to myself by myself. And I've proved that, like being, like basically pushed out or pushed away from some of these silent, people who hold silent agreements with each other, it brought about my ability to forgive them, because I was in realization that was never my intention, and that's not the way that I think. And matter of fact, I grew apart from my family because of that reason. So what I'm seeing here is it's in everybody's problem and issue, and the more that it's allowed to impose abuse on people utilizing technological spaces and business is again it's gonna bring about we're actually bringing ourselves less freedom than more in that dynamic. And I just highly suggest, if hurting other people is the number one on your agenda, it doesn't matter how fucking insightful and smart you are, you do not belong in a place of leadership over other people. Unless they are like you. And really, like, I don't foresee harm, because more and more, empathic people and people in general are starting to understand and realize that's not what anybody ever wanted in our lives. It's something that was tolerated. Again, again, it's because God and these unseen beings have a lot of fucking compassion and patience. So shoving our kids into those dark hallways, I just now got that picture. Like, shoving them into those dark hallways isn't, the best thing for us. It happens. How does one deal with the consequences of that on either side without punitive language and punishment? Because the idea and the goal of this is growth, is to grow so that we understand as pieces of societal dynamics, how to move to the next step without it imposing, without it being at a person's expense. And what I mean at a person's expense is food, shelter, clean water, things Americans should not be going without right now. But people have found ways to finagle their way around that, and that is because of a lack mentality. And that is doable to fix. It is. I get started in doing stuff like this, and then I fall back because, because there is a design to it on an etheric, on a godly level. And sometimes the allowance of these things to occur is assistive in which way, it's assistive information, which way to go next, which place to navigate with these types of personality traits in people. You can always tell when a younger person, like, I think before it was, the masculine, which we have really, women are so powerful. Like, we stomped on it. We got tired of it, stomped on it, and utilized our youth to do the same. But we utilized our power without accountability. And this is where it's going to prove itself to be, again, like, I know I don't want my life put in, I if I had to have a leader, I'm at that place where, like, I prefer a male at this point, just because they've made all the mistakes and they know what not to do at this point. That's the only reason why. And I've proven that. That's been proven to me more and more that I'm around males and around these older tradition countries, people in these older tradition countries. Sometimes they come here because they think they can pull that same shit, not understanding they have guidance that follows them wherever they go. The more and more I could just open this up more and more and more. Baseline of this video is the question: how does one provide actual help in our communities, societies, like in our world as a whole, for people to have their needs be met in every area? That we're not seeing people sleeping on the sidewalk or outside unless they're just fucking plain out nuts, and that's not because being nuts is not that consequence. They just decided to go take a nap there. Food available everywhere all the time. That is what Mother Nature intended for us. And from my understanding, Lyndon Johnson, like magnified that because our population started to become more and more apparent. And it just gets to be really difficult when you understand that some of the natural orders of life, are in place for a reason. And so I just know moving forward when it comes to education that some of the stuff is a real simple fix, and it really is just being like, okay, so these are the things that you want to look at. There are people who want you to train certain areas or containers, other people for you. How do I compensate that with you for you? And if the answer is no, it's no. It doesn't mean go out of your way to try to impose difficulty in another person's life, especially if they're already incurring difficulties.